What is up, guys, and welcome to this humongous Q&A. Like over 60 questions in here from the last video, and I'm gonna go ahead and just tear right through them. Ready? I'm ready. I'm ready. How old are you, Mr. Visual? It's very, very unkind for you to ask a woman her age. I am 25. I don't know, what are you trying to do? Date me? With which Guild Wars 2 dye does your skin color look like? Definitely Redemption. Redemption, the perfect gold. Beautiful, silky caramel color. Yes. I don't know. Is there a pale, you know, not necessarily white, but a black person dye? Does that exist? If you could have sex with any YouTuber, would it be with wooden potatoes? Absolutely. Yes. Yes, it would be wooden potatoes. Yes. I'm putting my leg, you know, seductively on top of my other leg right now. You can't see it, but it's there. It's there. I don't think you want to see my hairy legs anyway. What is your first thought upon waking up? Visual wood. Can I have your toothbrush already? Fine, Athalos. Fine, I'll go get it. See? Alright. See? My toothbrush. Alright? Yeah, a little bit old. I need to replace it. But here you go, man. Here's my toothbrush. I'll put it in the packaging right now. Right now. I swear. What is your finisher at the moment in Guild Wars 2? Because I don't have the SAB finisher, because I missed it by literally like one day, I sticked with the worm, which I love the worm. Worm and the SAB is probably one of my favorites. I never got the goat, but you know, it'll be there. You know, I thought that was cool, but I like the ones that are just like, it just when you just kill someone, just they just explode. You know, it's so good, so satisfying. I think that's the equivalent, the equivalent in this game for getting a headshot in Gears of War. Considering over the last 3 years, YouTube as a company and website has changed, networks have grown and adapted. What do you think being a YouTuber means today from 3 years ago when it started? Definitely YouTube has changed. YouTube used to be a site where you just post, you know, funny videos. Hey, you know, here you go. And now it's more developed into tutorials and making like straight up movies on the internet with, you know, funny let's plays. There's gaming content, there's content for pretty much everything, learning, you know, like teachings, makeup tutorials, a lot of stuff, cooking shows, tons of stuff is on YouTube now. And it's definitely have grown from, like, back then it used to be just, you know, you're doing it for fun and people wanted more from you. You became an actual TV channel, right? Where people can subscribe to you for free and just watch stuff that you've come out, like their favorite show, for instance. And it's grown to a career. I mean, people have, like, Justin Bieber, right, came from YouTube. That's where he got his start. Also, Donald Glover. You know, you guys know him from, you know, the black guy from Community. He actually started on YouTube from a channel called Derek Comedy. You know, I used to watch this stuff years ago, man, and that's where he got his start. He got his start by YouTube. It's almost like a resume for people like that. There's different ways people use YouTube now. I guess what a YouTuber means now is, I don't know, it's whatever you want it to mean. I guess, you know, I think of mine as more of a hobby, and you know, it's so hard to try to say like it's my job, because you don't really make the same amount of money at what you would at a job, because YouTubers more with people who have the passion to do it more than people who are trying to make money off of it. I wouldn't consider it a career path. I would consider it a hobby until proven otherwise, really. And if you, I mean, of course, not to say if someone works really extremely hard at it, you know, doing like crazy short films and stuff like that, eventually they'll gain an audience. But, you know, not everyone is lucky to just grow an audience overnight. You know, it's the way of the internet. You either cheat the system by using thumbnails and YouTube algorithms of having long videos, but people watching. You know, there's a whole bunch of stuff. But would I do anything differently? Probably yes. Probably yes. If I could go back in time and say, and I knew all this, all these skills, all these editing skills, and what all this studying I've, you know, done on YouTube for the last 3 years, I would have definitely done things differently. Definitely. Do I regret anything? No, because what I am now is, you know, from the experience I had, you know, so it's hard to say I would do things differently. So now I'm contradicting myself. It will be hard to say that because the mistakes I made is what makes people who they are. You know, it makes me who I am. So, you know, yes, if I learned from my mistakes and I went back in time, I may have changed a few things and done a few videos earlier. You know, it would be easy just to be like, oh, 3 years ago? Shoot, I should have been a Minecraft Let's Player. I should have been a League of Legends Let's Player. I should have did funny videos for League of Legends. You know, it's not about that. I think what I would have done is I would know what I want to do, and I like making people laugh, so I would probably stick with that for most of the time. That is the best joy of doing this, is coming up with a funny idea, and I'm like, oh, I know this is gonna be funny. I can't wait to show the people who watch me. And I send it out, and people are like, oh, that's funny, man, that's funny, man. You know, you're not gonna please everyone, but pleasing just the people, you know, who just enjoy a video for just a video, it makes me happy to do it. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's a little creatively draining sometimes, but it's pretty awesome. What got you into Guild Wars? Well, okay, let's start from the beginning. Guild Wars was something I never played. Guild Wars 1. My friends always told me about it. Like, oh, you should play Guild Wars, man. It is better than WoW. It is the best thing ever. You know, and I'm like, whoa, dude. Like, it must be awesome. But I mean, I had dial-up back then. You know, I was putting in those AOL CDs for the free trials. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I ain't have money back then. So, what ended up happening is when I was starting the channel, I was making music because I wanted to make games, and I had to quit college to help my mom out with money issues. So, I had to drop my game designing stuff, all my courses. So I wanted to make a game anyway, you know? I wanted to make a game for myself, and I started messing around with Game Maker because it was a lot easier to get into, and I didn't get to learn any programming yet. I was just learning, you know, basically the fundamentals, and, you know, you started creating games through things like Game Maker, and then they had Unity, and they had Torque, and all that type of stuff. But Game Maker was always so cool because, I mean, there was a lot of programming in there involved, but it was a little bit easier to understand. I'm pretty sure there's others that are better now, but this is years ago. So I basically was looking up. I'm up there going back in history. I basically was looking up a bunch of videos on GameTrailers.com. I used to watch that site religiously. You know, with Jeff Keighley, the Doritos guy. Yeah. So then I saw a couple videos of Guild Wars 2, and I was like, wow, this is cool. And I looked it up on YouTube, and this guy called Alex Ridiculous. I know a lot of you guys remember him. Everyone knows Alex Ridiculous. He did that, you know, 10 reasons to be excited about Guild Wars, and he actually republished it. Like, it's online now, so you can search it up. And it kind of got me excited, you know. Like, I was like, this is pretty cool. This makes sense because I've been playing MMOs for a long time, you know, and I was like, man, this is something different. This is really cool. You know, I could totally get into this, you know, and not have to grind and grind and grind. It gets kind of boring, you know, a MMO that appreciates your time invested into it. you know, I got really excited about that. So that's how I got into Guild Wars initially, and then I started making videos about it, and that's the rest is history. And now here I am in front of a camera, talking to nobody. Are you gonna play Destiny for PS4? I will be playing Destiny. I did try out the beta, and I actually really enjoyed the beta. I feel like it was very short, and I can understand why it's short. You know, it's just a beta. You know, test the servers. You know, test everything out. I didn't like the PvP too much, but I don't know. I haven't liked FPS PvP in a while, you know. So don't take my word on it. What I mostly enjoyed, like I've played not hours, not days, not weeks, not months. No, probably months. I don't think I've calculated more than months on a game, but Halo 3 or the whole Halo franchise, I've played hours and hours and hours of that. And also Gears of War. Gears of War is one of my favorite shooters of all time. It's sad that the path it went down, I don't know, Cliff got lazy or something. You know, he seems like a cool guy, but I don't know, his direction with the Gears of War, it ruined it. It really did. It really did, you know. No offense to him. Shot off shotguns. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all gearheads know what I'm talking about. It's stupid. It's making me mad. But I will be playing it for the Xbox One. And I thought it was really good. I'm planning on getting all the systems eventually. I just started with Xbox One because my friends have Xbox One. They decided to choose that because we played on 360. Because back between 360 and PS3, 360 had a way better online UI, everything. PS3 was just kind of garbage with anything. Couldn't have parties. Everything that I had, I had a PS3 too, by the way, and I could care less about the console wars. I could give two craps. Okay, I really don't care. PC Master Race for life. So before all that craziness, you guys with all that consoles, most of us are PC Master Race anyway. So, you know, we good. Respect. That's why I'm just playing on Xbox for now. I thought it was really good. I thought that the being able to jump in with a lot of friends and just play together, I thought that was fantastic. And the dungeons were really fun, really cool moments. PvP wizards were overpowered, very overpowered, very. But anyways, what happened to Visual Wood? Like, I've mentioned this many times on my Twitter and Facebook. Like, it's there. But you guys keep asking. I understand not everyone follows me on Twitter. I get it. Visual Wood is an interesting podcast, right? Here's the thing. It has nothing to do with me and Wood and Potatoes fighting or whatever type of story you guys created in your minds that we have broken up and stuff like that. We obviously still do videos together. We talk all the time if he's online. It has a lot to do where the podcast was going, right? The podcast wasn't growing, and the podcast, I mean, we enjoy doing it. That's not the problem, but the work that goes into it, right? When Potatoes, you know, comes on, we record, he sends me his footage, I edit it all up, and then I put it online, and it takes a bit. People wanting one or the other. We enjoyed talking about other stuff, right? More than we enjoyed the Guild Wars 2 segment. Yes, Guild Wars 2 it was built on it being a Guild Wars 2 podcast, right? Because that's where my audience was at the time. My audience was pretty much all Guild Wars 2, and it probably still is all Guild Wars 2. I'm pretty sure there's some of you out there who actually watch me for some other stuff. But, not that I'm moving away from Guild Wars 2, but the fact is that I have a podcast that is split now. It's like, me and One Potatoes enjoy talking about movies and whatever we feel like at the time, all gaming related stuff. And we enjoyed less about talking about Guild Wars 2 because it felt forced. And as you realize, I don't like putting forced videos. So when you don't see a Guild Wars 2 video, or a review is because I feel like it's not good enough, or it's forced, or it's I don't want to put it up. So there were decisions to make. It's either cut it off while everyone enjoys it, or cut it off when everyone hates it because we stopped talking about Guild Wars 2, because most people, if it's not Guild Wars 2, it's not good content to them. So that's what happens, right? Not to say anything bad who just wants to watch Guild Wars 2. If that's where you're at, if you're a mono gamer and that's what you enjoy, then that's fine. That's totally fine. It's just that you will not be supporting a podcast anymore, and if you're not supporting it, then the podcast might go downhill from there. Even though we would talk about Guild Wars 2, it just won't have a section. It would just be like, we talk about Guild Wars 2 because we talk about Guild Wars 2, not because we have to talk about Guild Wars 2, because we have to appease the podcast, viewers. And, I thought Visual Wood Podcast was a perfect name, awesome podcast. We enjoy doing it, but it's come to the point where it's like, maybe we should end it now before it just dies. And, there was different things. I thought about trying to bring it back, but probably on its own channel. So if people stop watching it, which would most likely happen when you put things on another channel, most likely people are too lazy to go to the other channel. They don't want Visual Wood that bad for them to take 2 seconds and subscribe to another channel. They just watch it because it appears in their sub box. So it's one of those things, it's very complicated. I would love to do something else. I know obviously we do play games together and it gets uploaded to the channel. Probably bring back some more Starbound, because that's more like a podcast feeling where we just talk about nonsense for about an hour or so like that. But it might come back. I'm not saying it's gone forever. It might come back. But yeah, I think for Visual Wood, for your craving, then you would have to kind of watch the Visual Wood Plays or Visual Wood Versus, when we just play, have fun together and just play games, which we tend to enjoy a lot, and obviously people enjoy that. If you could find a cure to turn wooden potatoes into a real potato boy, would you mash him and deep fry him? It's not a question of it's a question of what would I make him into. What games have you been playing lately? Lately, I've been messing around and playing like games that I wouldn't normally give it a time of the day. Like, I would look at it and be like, I don't know. Like, I saw some gameplay, but I don't think it's my type of game. I think I'll pass on that. I don't think I have enough time. Well, 2 games lately has surprised me, right? I was looking around. You get games for free on Xbox Live. So I got Guacamelee, and I got also Max the Cursed Brotherhood. Those 2 games surprised the heck out of me. Guacamelee was just a flat out good game. It's basically a Mexican Castlevania Metroid game. It's fantastic. And Max is not necessarily like a perfect game as Guacamelee. Oh, it's not perfect, but it's not necessarily a game like that, of that caliber, but it was still a game that surprised me, that even in the beginning stages, I was like, I don't want to play this. It's one of those games where it feels like it's a kid. You're playing as a kid, and it's like a kiddie game or whatever, but it's one of those jokey kiddie games, like not necessarily like SpongeBob. I don't know what a good example of that might be, but you can play it as an adult and feel fine with it. It's going off of that joke. I'm pretty sure there's a couple games way back in the day that they're trying to emulate and got inspired from, but I can't think of them right now. But it was actually a fantastic game. I ended up beating those 2, and I was like, wow, okay, I should probably look for some more indies now, because I need to satisfy that, that thrill of finding a game and thinking that I wasn't gonna like it, and I end up liking it and finding some really interesting mechanics. If a Quaggan had a fight with a llama, who would win? Have you seen the Quaggan? Small, yeah, sure. I mean, some of them are a little bit overweight. Those teeth, though. What is your last name, Visual? Wood? Where did your mohawk go? I live in Georgia. It's hot right now, okay? It's hot, all right? Okay, it gets hot when you have that mohawk. And it's expensive to get my hair cut from, you know, I had a girl barber who knew how to do a mean haircut, but it's expensive, okay? Every 2 weeks, trying to go up in there and cut your hair for like $20-something, and I gotta give good tip, because that's what I do. I gotta give good tip. You know what I'm saying? It gets expensive. It gets expensive. I can't be doing that. I don't make that much money on YouTube. I can't be doing it. I don't know, but my voice is going. When is the next Guild Wars 2 video coming? Okay, so let's answer this question. Guild Wars 2 has been coming out with patches all about lore. It's all story-based content. I'm not a lore guy. Winning Potatoes is a lore guy. You know, I can't do anything with that. Everyone wants Winning Potatoes. Everyone holds him. Everyone. I'm not a big lore guy. You know, I would have to go back and read every single thing, and do lore videos. And what am I gonna do? The only thing I can do is stuff like you've seen last time with Before Dragons Reach. That video. You know, like a funny video making fun of the story. That's pretty much what I can do with that. Hey Matt, how did you start your channel, and how was it starting a channel? By the way, congrats on your 3-year anniversary. Thank you very much. How did I start my channel? As I was saying previously, I wanted to make a game, so I started making music for that game because I love music. I also play drums, or at least I used to before I moved into a condo and had to sell it. I love music, so I made some, and I've showed a couple tracks before. It's still on my channel. I stopped making it now, but because I mostly started putting my time elsewhere. But I started my channel doing that, and then I got really hyped about this new MMO. You might have heard it, called Guild Wars 2, and that's how I started, really. How was it starting a new channel? It was weird. Being able, you put yourself out there when you get a YouTube channel. When you make a YouTube channel, you got to be willing to take anything people say in the comments. Because me, I like to read the comments, and I read a lot of them. I tend to try to make myself avoid them sometimes, because some people it just makes you angry. Comments will make you angry. It's just like, why would you say that? Why do you think that way? And you kind of want to answer it like, why do you think this way, sir? Why are you saying this? Blah, blah, blah. You try to understand the person, but you gotta understand, making a YouTube channel, people watch you from all different types of culture, countries, universes, planets, probably, hopefully, because that will explain some of the comments I've seen. But it's one of those things where you put yourself out there, and you would hope that people like what they see, and they don't comment on your imperfections all the time. It's like, it's fine. You have to deal with those things. Like Total Biscuit, he doesn't deal with it as well as others. I've learned to deal with it, even though it, Winning Potatoes be my witness. I'm like, this comment is really pissing me off right now. It's really pissing me off. But yeah, it's a learning experience, and it made me a better person, I would say. What do you love most about YouTube? Making people laugh. I said this previously before. I like seeing the comments, and and I like making people laugh. I like making people enjoy. I know the majority won't leave a comment, so I won't know, but at least by the like button, I would know that they enjoyed the video, and that is what makes me want to grow. That is my motivation makes me want to actually grow my YouTube channel into something that's more variety. As you can see, obviously, more variety channel, because I want to reach more people and make more people laugh. It's fantastic. The people coming up to you like, hey, I really enjoy your stuff. You know, when I went to PAX, like I really enjoyed your stuff, man. It makes me laugh, man. You're cool peeps or whatever. I'm like, oh, give me a hug. You know, it's just like awesome. I like that feeling. I want to do that more and spread joy. What has been the most memorable experience on Guild Wars 2? In Guild Wars 2, I guess you were trying to say. In Guild Wars 2, and most memorable experience gaming in general. Okay. So Guild Wars 2, I would have to say launch. Everyone being excited and just jumping into the game, no life in the game. I always no life a game in the very beginning. It's just, I just love to get that drive out of me so I can relax and just enjoy the game. I level 80 like the next day. You know, I was not playing games. It had to be launched. Playing with a few friends. I made a guild back then, and I met a lot of cool people, and we just had a really good time. We were all hardcore. It was me, Nemesis, and some young kid called Death Robo, which I have no idea where he is right now. But like, or any of them really. It's strange how people come in and out of your life, isn't it? I learned that once I got a guild. I learned that people will come and go, regardless if you like them or not. And I tend to like people, you know, and I tend to talk to them, and I maybe tend to share too much. I feel like I tend to like almost be too honest with somebody and like scare people. I've talked to other YouTubers, believe it or not, and you learn that they're not the same way, you know, like you learn that they're not as social as they might seem in their videos. You know, they're a little bit held back. And me, like, I'm just ready to talk. I'm just ready to socialize. I'm not gonna go into the whole YouTube thing. There's a lot of stories I could tell about YouTube and collabs, and let me stop. Let me stop there. Favorite gaming moments. Oh my gosh. You know, there's a couple that come to mind. You know, when I was young, my first, probably not my first gaming experience, but one of the most memorable when I was young was when I had my 5th birthday, and my mom got me a brand new Nintendo with Ninja Turtles, and for the NES. And my neighbor came over and we played co-op, and it was awesome. I enjoyed that Nintendo. I played the heck out of my SNES. Also, you know, me and my best friend Edwin, and another good friend of mine, another best friend of mine, Marcus. Both of them, we've had really good sessions. Like with Edwin, my friend had a garage that they turned into a room, right? And we would just hook up all the computers in a line because he had this humongous desk, and we would just play cooperative games. We would do Warcraft 3 mods all day long. Sit there all day long. His mom would cook food, usually without salt, but it still tasted good somehow. Because his dad didn't like salty salt in the foods. I forgot what the reason was, but you know, no salty food. So you know, that's what I remember. Anyways, so I remember his mom cooking us the food, and we always had a lot of juice, and I was like a juice maniac back then. Yeah, I was also pretty big. But I didn't care, man. Games, man. It was an escape for me. And it still is an escape sometimes. Escape from sitting in this chair all the time. But I think there's a question on that, so I'll leave that question for later and what I mean by that. But awesome times playing Halo, Halo Combat Evolved, Warcraft 3 mods, all the co-op games that we can do, just big LAN parties with a bunch of friends. Best gaming experiences, playing with friends. On the couch, whatever. I love that. And I also want to I feel like I need to make a show that makes me feel nostalgia of that. And, you know, I was playing with Super Bunny Hop the other day, and we were playing Dive Kick. He's an extremely competitive person. Okay? Don't play games with Bunny Hop. Okay? No, no. You see that guy? Don't play games with him. He will make you feel bad about having fun, okay? I'm just playing. But we had a really good time, and I just want to put a camera and just play games. And I know people have done that already. It's called Let's Play channels, but yeah. Might have been answered before, but still, how did you and Wooden Potatoes meet? And you have a very fun channel, very fun content. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, you don't really watch YouTube, but you really like my stuff. Thank you. Know, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I could definitely understand that because I wasn't really into YouTube before, and a couple YouTubers just made me got into YouTube because I just really enjoyed their stuff, and I would go to that website just to watch their stuff. I'm a dedicated guy like that. I would go to another channel. You know, I guess I'm a different type of breed. The hardcore fan. It's funny. I'm a YouTuber now, but you know, there's a lot of YouTubers that I, you know, not necessarily, I guess, look up to. I guess you can say. John Tron, I love you. How did we meet? We met. I contacted him about doing a potential collab with him. And long time ago, he was like, yeah, sure. But he's the type of guy who keeps to himself. He doesn't really go out of his way to talk to people, right? I was, you know, as a beginning YouTuber and hearing about collabs all the time and stuff like that, I was like, oh yeah, you should collab with people. And I learned that people, they're just uncomfortable with it. Most people who want to collab are people who don't have experience in YouTube, and they try to, you know, I guess leech. It's a bad word. That's a really bad word. I mean, I would like to collab with Total Biscuit or any of those big guys that I watch, but I know that would never happen. That would never happen because they have to like you. But I'm going off topic again. I contacted him again after a few months. I was like, oh, you want to chill? Because I had him on Skype already. And I usually don't push the issue. But I like to, what ends up happening, I don't care about collabing. What I care about is having other YouTuber friends. I like having YouTuber friends because you get to talk to them, you get to socialize. I don't really care about collabing. I care about a community and being part of the gaming community. That's what I mostly enjoy. And you know, you could come to them and be like, yo, I just read this comment, man. I'm feeling kind of crappy right now, you know? So, you know, we started talking. He wanted to do this thing called the Daily Deal. And I was like, I am down, bro. I'm down. Let's do this thing. And we end up doing it. And we did like, what, like 50 episodes on games. And we stayed consistent for a while. Like, but, you know, it wasn't really growing, so we had to end it. But my idea with Visual Wood actually worked. So that was interesting. And that's how we started. And we became friends. I would like to think of him as a good friend of mine. I don't know how he thinks of me. I don't know. You know, I'll be getting all mushy with him, but he, you know, he's the type of guy, you know. He's one of those guys, you know, he's sitting on, he's smoking a cigar. I'm too cool for all that mushy stuff. I don't show you my face because I don't want to be too attached to anybody. I'm cool. I'm British. I'm making fun of him. He's cool. He's a mad cool guy. And yeah, that's how we met, and that's where it started. Why don't you do music anymore? I just haven't had time, really. And the way I made my music before was using like sound files that already existed. I didn't really make them on my own. And in order to do the music I really wanted, because I would have music ideas in my mind that I want to put into the program, but I couldn't because all I had was a keyboard. I didn't have a MIDI controller. You know, one of those pads. You could either get a touchpad thing or a keyboard piano thing that could hook up to your computer, and you can play anything you want. Basically, you can play drums with that. I also wanted to get an electronic drum set as well because, you know, I'll be able to put it on my headset and not disturb the neighbors. But those, to get a good one, those are very expensive. And I'm used to playing on real drums. And any drummers out there, you know, going from a real drum set to a cheap, like a Yamaha Birch set to a cheap electronic set, it's not comparable to the real thing. You want to feel that vibration as you slam that snare, as you pop that bass, pop it like it's hot. You know what I'm saying? You miss that. You miss that feeling, and that is the joy for me for playing music. I need that. I need that. And I love the music that I've created and I've put online, and you know, hopefully I've conveyed feelings through my music, and that's where my name came in, by the way. I don't know if there's a question on that. There's like a bunch of questions I need to answer, and I need to get through this, but you know, I want a picture in your mind through my music. Hopefully I was able to convey just using clips. I use a bunch of clips, like just clips, and made that music what it was. I wanted to extend that, and I wasn't able to. I didn't have enough time, and I didn't have money for that either. And it was more beneficial for me to do more gaming stuff than it was to do music stuff. But I still have the love of music. That will never go away. Musicians, you guys understand. Have you ever tried Dota? Yes. Yes, I have. I used to play Dota a lot for Warcraft 3, the mod. Dota 2 is what you're asking about. I played it. I don't like it. And I think the reason why is because I played League of Legends since beta. So I don't like Dota very much. Just the way it controls and the way it looks, it's just I don't know. It's just not something I'll get into. It's something I would watch. You know, I've watched streamers before. I'm a big fan of watching Twitch. What is your favorite anime and why? Oh, man. So many things come to mind. I know definitely one of my favorite anime. It's hard to choose because I like so many. But I love Full Metal Alchemist. When I was young, you know, I dived into geeky stuff. You know, things were going on in my life, and I needed an escape. And it sounds bad to say that type of stuff, right? I know, it sounds bad. It's like, you need an escape from life, and you play games? I know some of you guys can relate to that. That's why video games in general mean something a little bit more to me. The culture around it and everything like that. But I'm not. This is an anime question. I'm not gonna go too deep. This Q&A is gonna be like 20 hours long. But at that time, I was watching Full Metal Alchemist, and this is the first Full Metal Alchemist. I do love Brotherhood. I love Brotherhood. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. Can you imagine one of your favorite animes being remade with fresh HD graphics? You know, it's the most amazing feeling. And I waited till it was done, and I watched it all in not one sitting, but like a couple weeks. No, not a couple weeks, a couple days. And it was fantastic. But Brotherhood... But Full Metal Alchemist was just, it was just perfect for the time. I just love the animation. Every episode meant something. It was awesome to follow the Elric brothers through these trials and moments. It made you feel emotions. It had awesome action, and I love my action. I don't mind. Like there's another anime I like as well. So it doesn't have to be all action. Fruits Basket is one of my favorite animes as well. It's just an old anime, slice of life anime, and I just really enjoy it. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I couldn't tell you what it is. Maybe it's just the way the characters interact with each other. It's just good. But anime in general, I like those types of animes. I like the animes that don't just have an over-sexualized woman in there with bouncing boobs and stuff like that. I like animes that are just plain regular anime. Like it's just the animation, the storytelling, nothing to get, you know, little 15-year-olds touching themselves, you know, like just To be honest, like that's exactly what it is. You know, I'm watching anime right now. It's a fantastic anime, but it just has a bunch of, you know, like that fan service all over the place, and it drives me nuts. Fruits Basket and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is one of those animes that didn't have that. You know, it depends on the anime. Like if the anime, if that's just the way it is, then that's fine. I like things being shown realistically. I also like Hellsing. I think that's a fantastic anime, but it fits well. Whatever you see in there fits well inside of the universe. You know, I like me some gore. I do like me some gore. How much money do you make off YouTube? Well, not much. I would say Patreon is a better system than YouTube. I get paid more on Patreon because you guys support me than on YouTube. That's how much I make on YouTube. It fluctuates. I can't tell you a number because it fluctuates. It goes up and down all the time. It's not something to think of as a job whatsoever. You will not get paid a lot doing YouTube. This is something you do for fun. Unless you're PewDiePie, unless you're somebody who uploads every day and it gets thousands, hundreds of thousands of views, you cannot make a living off this. It's just how it is, you know. It's how it is, really. And in a moment, people can stop watching you. If you feel like you don't want to do League of Legends anymore, right? There's this guy called Kobe Cheese. Don't feel like doing League of Legends anymore because, you know, you just don't feel like you don't enjoy it anymore. Your whole audience would leave you. And that's why it's such a dangerous thing to depend on YouTube as a source of income. You shouldn't think of it as that way. You shouldn't, right? This is plainly if you enjoy doing it. I enjoy you and Wooden Potatoes content all the time. Would you plan on doing more Let's Plays, basically? More Let's Plays content. Would you guys watch Let's Play content? People who are going to be watching this video are like hardcore. I know you guys are going to be hardcore because this is, this is going to be a long video. I can already see it now. I already stopped the camera like at least 20 times already. It's going to be a lot of footage to edit through. Would you guys watch it though? I was thinking if I were to do Let's Play content, which after I move out of this little small box I'm in, I'm going to have a better place to do more stuff. And I'm thinking that I would make a channel dedicated to doing more fast-paced content every day. So if you guys want to support me more, or you want more of me playing games and stuff like that, and playing games with Wooden Potatoes and finishing the series that I have, I usually don't finish it on this channel because the views go down. And I kind of want to do more highly edited videos that people, you know, who are time sensitive can watch that. You know, some people don't like Let's Plays, and I can totally understand that. But I was thinking about making a Let's Play channel, and I know that's, you know, that's what everyone does. But, you know, I would do it in my way. You know my way. Edited and stuff like that. It depends. If it's story driven, then it wouldn't be edited. You know, and it will be a nice Let's Play. And I'll put effort into it. I wouldn't just do it as just trying to money grab, you know, because I'm definitely not doing it for the money. What program do you use to create these soundtracks? It was called Magic Music Maker, and I had a whole lot of sound pools, which are just big collections of tunes you can use to put them together to create a song like I did there. Favorite skill level in RuneScape? It was my first game too. This was my first MMO, and woodcutting. I don't know what it was. I just loved cutting wood. Okay, it's just one of those things where it made me a lot of money that I can save up for dragon armor when that was rare back then. I already had a dragon helm because I used to farm the dragons. And man, you couldn't lag when you were farming those dragons because, man, they would kill you and you would lose everything. And that sucks when you lose everything. It really does. It was woodcutting. I made money, and fishing as well, because fishing helped out with you know, being able to get sharks, harpoon sharks, and get some good potions or whatever to, not potions, but healing items so you can go and farm dragons. Everything I did was, you know, to farm other things, and it was one of those things that the skill system in RuneScape helped each other and complemented each other and ended up being a fantastic game for the time. When do you plan on knocking up your wife and getting a mini visual? Not anytime soon. I want to get my ducks in a row first. I need to figure out. I need to be comfortable in my life first. You know, we're looking for a house right now. You know, getting a car. You know, we use transportation, which is actually pretty good here because we live right by the train station. So like, you know, I need to get my ducks in a row before I start bringing a child into the world. Yes, you will never be prepared. I understand that. Believe me, I understand that. But it's still good to have things in order before you have a child. And I think I need to have things in order first before I have one. Serious question. What were you doing to lose weight? This is what I did to lose weight. I cut the crap out of my life. A lot of things, there's healthy and then there's trying to lose weight. They're totally separate. I should probably do a full video on talking about some of these comments I see on HGR. You guys confuse eating healthy with losing weight. It's total separate things. But I eat healthy because I feel better about eating. My body's not gonna have issues later on in life. That's why I eat healthy. It has nothing to do with how many calories. When you're losing weight, you have to eat less food. You can't eat more than you burn. So if you're sitting down all day, you're gonna have to eat less because you're burning less calories during the day. You can't sit down all day and eat all this fattish foods and all these high calorie foods just for you to you're just gonna gain weight. It's just what's gonna happen. Some people are blessed and they can eat whatever they want and they don't gain weight. You know, some people it's easier to lose weight. Sometimes all you gotta do is cut carbs from your diet and all of a sudden, boom, you lose weight. And when I say cut carbs, I don't mean just cutting every source of carbs in your life. You know, sweet potatoes, which is a vegetable, has carbs in it. You know, there's lots of other places you can get carbs other than this full-on bread, because bread is the devil. Okay, carbs. If you're not burning it, they will sit in your body and you will gain and you will never lose. That's just how it is. But you can obviously you can lose weight with eating carbs. That's not what I'm saying. I would say, for me, I couldn't exercise, so I had to just cut calories and eat a lot healthier, and I would have more energy because I was eating healthier, you know, and getting my body the nutrients that it needs. I was able to cut a lot of the crap that was in my life, cutting juices and sugary content away, and replacing things and finding alternatives, which is what HGR is built upon. But yeah, that's how I lost weight. I cut the crap out of I started eating veggies and meat. Veggies and meat and fruits. That's what I ate. Veggies, meat, and fruits. Veggie, meat, and I made sure I didn't snack too much. Snacking will kill you. I can talk all day on this, and this thing is already dangerously long. I'm gonna stop there. Visual wood, I've talked about it a lot, but that's the basics of it, yeah. Do you like trains or turtles, or... Hey Matt, do you have a favorite video that you have made? I personally like the reviews, although all your videos are excellent. Thank you very much. Definitely my reviews and the Legendary series, even though it's not perfect, and I will probably do things differently, you know, knowing the experience I have now. But I really do like the Legendary series for Guild Wars 2, and I love my reviews. I gotta say, one of my favorites would have to be Outlast. There was certain jokes in there that were just funny. I would watch it again, I'm like, Matt, damn, you did good. You did good, son. You did good, son. Come on, son. Come on, son. One of my favorite jokes in there is the Censor Bar brothers, and I made the Censor Bar jiggle. Hilarious. I have so many questions. You stated in the video that you have an illness that prevents you from holding a real job. I presume is the reason you haven't been posting much lately. Will you tell us what it is? Secondly, do you still live in Atlanta? I do still live in Atlanta. I recently moved to the city, and that leads me to my last question. Can we be friends? We can be friends, my friend. We can be friends. I have something called if you made it this far into the video, you deserve to hear. I usually don't like saying, you know, what I have, because some people take it negatively. Some people are gonna take it like, oh, you're trying to get sympathy and all that type of stuff. No, I don't want you watching me for depressing reasons and pitying me and stuff like that. That's not what I make videos for, okay? I make videos to make people laugh and people enjoy their day, or, you know, talk about something. You know, I don't want it to be about, you know, oh, we're watching him because he's disabled. You know, something like. Anyways, I have something called periodic paralysis. I've been born with this disease. I guess it's a disease. It's a genetic disorder / whatever, that basically, if I sleep too long, if it gets hot, if it gets cold, if the wind blows in the wrong directions, if I eat certain things, I get numb. Not numb, I get weakness. Weakness, and also have these attacks where my whole body would get numb. Meaning I won't be able to move. Sometimes it's upon waking up in the morning, I won't be able to move at all. Just at all. I will be able to move my neck, but that's pretty much it. I've had it since I was young, and it's the reason why I haven't been able to work in the last few years, because you know, no one understands what I have. Let me explain. Like, me telling you this, you're not gonna understand what I have yet. You're like, oh man, that's really bad. But like, understanding is something different. Like, people just put it in the back of their mind. So when you're working for someone and you tell them what you have, you know, they don't really understand it. Like, oh, that's really bad. And when they want you to come into work, you know, they think of it as an excuse. They don't know what I'm feeling, because I can talk regular. I can talk like this and be weak. I may not be able to get up out of this chair right now, but I can talk like this. And it changes, you know. Sometimes it's only my legs that are weak, and I won't be able to get up out of the chair. And my wife will be able to help me. Thank God I have an awesome wife that supports me and helps me. Instead of feeling bad for myself, I started YouTube. And it's good extra money coming in. It's really good extra money, and I put time into it. And yes, it's definitely, when you see me not upload when I was supposed to, it's because of that. And it's a little bit hard, because it's very stressful not being able to do stuff with my hands, because obviously I have to edit the video and stuff like that, and being slightly depressed, you know, just like slightly like, why is this happening to me? And not knowing, not having a cure for it, because I'm going to the hospital right now, and the hospital bills are piling up. I was about to say that word. The hospital bills have been piling up, and you know, like, I'm going to the hospital trying to figure out what it is. I'm not gonna have a cure for it. I have treatment for it, but it's not gonna stop the weakness that happens, which is mostly what happens with it, where my body would be half strength. So imagine being able to always run up the stairs, but for some reason today you have to slowly walk up the stairs, and you have to use the railings in order to push your body up. Or not being able to run, you can just briskly walk fast. Or basically, if you trip, you will fall regardless, and making your legs feel like like Jello, basically. But I'm not gonna go too much into it. That's why I really started YouTube, because I had time on my hands between attacks and stuff like that, and this is what you have here. I use my joy and you know, expression and, you know, all my jokes and stuff to spread laughter, you know, or just a good enjoyment, entertaining channel. Because really, you know, I live kind of like a stressful life with this stuff, you know? Just being real for like a second, you know, don't like, oh, feel bad for me, anything like that. I'm fine. I've had this since I was young. I am fine. I am totally fine. So, yeah. So, seriously speaking, you know, that's what happens to me. Periodic paralysis. Hopefully one day I'll beat it. At least I'm not fat anymore. Being big and walking up the stairs, it's laughable. Like, oh, people look at it, it's like, oh, you can't run very fast and you can't walk up very fast because you're big. I'm like, that's not the reason. Bigger people than me walk up the faster than me. People think what they want to think. I don't care. I guess that prepared me for YouTube anyway. Are you planning on playing other MMOs or other games in general? Absolutely. As you can see on the channel, I'm trying to change it up a little bit. MMOs, I feel I play MMOs, but I don't dedicate. I'm not going to dedicate to any MMO. Reason why is that most MMOs these days require your time, all of it. And you know, having time to create, like for instance Guild Wars 2, I have to juggle playing the game and making videos about the game, and you know, playing other games and having a life at the same time. Those things don't match together. Those things do not match together. MMOs, I've kind of getting tired. I guess I'm burnt out a little bit on just grinding for not getting anything for it. I was playing Archage, and it was kind of the, you know, the same old, you know, you grind and grind and grind. Yes, it has really good features, like, you know, farming and the boat system and being able to go out there and adventure. The whole world is open, like, everything is open. Like, it's gonna be a good game for people who like traditional MMOs, but really cool features, right? Which is what everyone's going for right now, right? Like, you know, WildStar is the same thing. Like, traditional MMO feel, except, you know, they fixed a lot of the bad stuff and, you know, features that they love. I feel like the genre itself it's a little bit hurting itself at the moment. I feel like we're gonna get a lot of not full MMOs, we're gonna get like half MMOs, like stuff like Destiny, you know, where you can play it. People play shooters anyway every single day, like they play Call of Duty, but except they're gonna have a little bit more elements to it to get you to play even more and have, you know, co-op missions and stuff like that. I feel like MMOs are gonna move into that direction unless they find a new way to play Oculus Rift. Now, Oculus Rift is not going to be that revolutionary, but no, not revolutionary for the MMO genre, but you know, for gaming that requires first person and you don't have to worry about walking in the game, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. I got a question, Matt. Train A traveling at 70 miles per hour leaves Westford hitting. What is this? Math problem? You sending me a math problem? Like, seriously? It's 2 hours. The answer is 2 hours. What is your favorite and worst feature about Guild Wars 2? Answer carefully. ANET is always watching. The art style. I really like the art style of Guild Wars 2. It's like a beautiful, like, seriously, go to one of your favorite areas and just sit there and look, put the graphics on high and look at the area, and it just looks fantastic. It looks like concept art. It's fantastic looking. I love it. The areas, the atmosphere, the environment, that's probably my favorite of Guild Wars 2, definitely, definitely. Worst? I feel, ooh, jeez. Oh gosh. The worst feature in Guild Wars 2? I gotta say the progression. They could, not to say that I want grind, but I felt like the time that I put into the game I wasn't getting a reward for it. And that's because that's the way Guild Wars 2 is. Guild Wars 2 is not a game for you to be spending hours and hours of time and actually getting rewarded for it, because you won't be getting rewarded for it. You will just keep getting the same old stuff and skins and stuff. I mean, if you like that, then that's fine. It respects your time, which is what I like. That I like that it respects your time, and not everyone has years and years to develop. I mean, to develop a go raiding and stuff like that. And that's not what I want. But I think a sense of progression would have been awesome. Progression that mattered. And you can't do that because the way ArenaNet has it, everything has the same set, and that's why the loot is garbage. Who cares about loot? Who cares? It's all skins. No one cares. No one cares. I mean, if you like skins, then you care about the skin, but no one cares about a loot drop. Why? Because it's all the same. It's all the same stuff. It's all the same weapons. No one's powerful than anyone else, unless you spend hours and hours grinding to get infusions and stuff like that. And even then, a skillful player can still beat you. Like, it's just it's not enough to feel powerful. It's not enough. The loot system is not what I like. And I guess that's the worst feature for me. And that's what ultimately just did make me feel like, it's not worth my time to log in every single hour of my day instead of playing, Call of Duty. I'm joking. When you started YouTube, do you think you would have grown this big? I'm not necessarily big. Not to say anything. I love the where I am right now. When I started YouTube, I didn't start YouTube thinking that I would be big. I started YouTube just because I wanted to talk about the game, and people tend to enjoy it. And that's kind of the interaction with people, because I like talking, is what made me continue to do it and made me think about doing this more often and creating a little community around it and a base around it. And it's awesome. It's an awesome feeling that people are willing to watch you, what you put out, regardless of what it is. And it's a cool, awesome feeling. How many times do you want to stop making YouTube videos? Many times. Not necessarily quit or give up, but wanted to stop doing it. Like sometimes that comment will annoy the hell out of you, or you will see a video that you worked hours and hours and hours on, or days or weeks on, and it only get like a few likes or a few comments. Like, it's not about how much views it makes, but how many people it reached. If it didn't really reach a lot of people, it's just like, okay, it feels a little bit weird. Maybe I shouldn't spend so much time doing that one thing, especially when it's not my job. I should, do something a little bit easier than spending so much time on it. But yeah, I mean, sometimes it could be a little stressful. Creativity, when creativity is the channel is governed by that. How well you can come up with these ideas for videos, and it could be a little bit stressful with that. I don't necessarily want to lose my audience, even though it's not necessarily my job, but so I want to do the videos, and that's how it could be like a little bit stressful with that. And I don't want to quit YouTube because I enjoy doing what I do, and I definitely put it back into its place where I do it not to try to just grow into some big monster, to grow into the next PewDiePie, but I do it because I enjoy what I'm putting out. And I think that's very important. How are you enjoying Season 2 so far? Haven't really heard you mention it at all. Well, that's because there's nothing to talk about. Winning Potatoes, like, it's all lore. Winning Potatoes does lore, so it's up his alley. What did I do when I did patch videos or videos about Guild Wars 2? It was about the patch, and it wasn't about the lore. It was about what they were adding into the game. They're not adding anything to the game anymore. They're just happy with what they have in the game, and I like content to play. The living story is not content. It's just story, which is fine, but it's just like, okay, it's the journey between story parts is not fun to me. It's not as awesome as I would want it to be, I guess you can say. It's not bad by any means, I still play it, obviously, every single time it comes out. You know, like, what can I say? It's more of the same. Season 2 is more of the same. You know, it's the same old stuff that you're used to. If you enjoy Living Story, then you're gonna enjoy it. Me, I never really enjoyed the Living Story, to be honest. I never did. You know, it's not necessarily content for me. Me fighting a bunch of mobs, I don't know. I think it's just me because I'm just a little bit burnt out on the type of content that they're releasing. Like, now if SAB comes out, we all good to go. We out, son. We out. We out. Hey, Matt, I've checked out Rift, and it seems to have it went free to play a year ago, and it seems to have all the features that you would like in Guild Wars 2, highly customizable housing and mounts and all that. A 4-year-old game with a bunch of new tuning and content updates. Have you played it? Would you review it? Stuff like that. With Rift, I thought it was boring. I thought it was boring, and I think it's because of the combat system. And this was way back, so I haven't played it recently, so I can't really give you an educated response to that. But like to MMOs in general, you know, like, you know, I was expecting Guild Wars 2 to be the MMO that changed the whole MMO genre and everything, and it didn't. It did change it to a point, but it really wasn't the MMO that it was hyped to be. And they, you know, Arena didn't hype it that way, at least from what I know. No, actually, no, they did. They did say a lot of stuff about the MMO. They were vague, but they did say, like, oh, dynamic events and blah, 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 blah. You know, it's going to change. And dynamic events is going to change every month and stuff like that. We're going to be changing this. We're going to be changing that. And then what now, it's just like all we get each month is a story update, which, you know, not my thing. You know, so for MMOs in general, I feel like unless I have a whole, like, I have a lot of people that I know are playing it, I don't know if I'll be going down the MMO genre a whole lot. I would still play MMOs. I still play Guild Wars 2, but to go and dive into another MMO just because it has really cool customization, I don't know. I think I would go for something more like EverQuest next, where it's not about grind. It's not about you know, the whole traditional MMO feeling and you know, the staleness of the genre. More about, you know, making your own world. And in EverQuest, you basically, there's gonna be built cities and everything just by yourself. It'll be just like what you would want in a Minecraft MMO. The reason why you like Minecraft is like you explore, you know, auto-generated landscapes and with your friends, and it's you can build up and blah blah blah. I mean, obviously it's not Minecraft, but it's that feeling of that, of discovering some crazy cave and some crazy boss under some, you know, big cavern and fighting it with a couple guys. That's what I would enjoy, the adventure of the MMO. And that's why I probably enjoyed the launch of Guild Wars 2, discovering Guild Wars 2 in the very beginning, more than I enjoy the game now. And we reminisce about launch. And I always like playing a game at launch, MMO at launch, because it's always fun to discover a new MMO. And I always know life it to max, and I see, is this really what I want to play constantly? Probably not. Probably so. I don't know. It depends. What music do you listen to while you play Guild Wars 2? When I'm farming Guild Wars 2, I would listen to audiobooks. I listen to a lot of video game remixes. I listen to a lot of OC remixes you see on the streams and in the end of my videos. But I do listen to a lot of audiobooks. I really like thriller and fantasy novels. Warded Man. I mentioned that plenty of times. Brad Meltzer has a lot of cool books on thrillers. Man, there's some other books out there. There's other books out there. I've watched the I've also listened to the Pendragon series. I've read the books too. You know, really cool fantasy novel stuff, and that's what really like zones me out. So I feel like I'm digesting something nutritious when I'm doing something that's just like super boring. But of course, you know, at the end of the day, if it's worth it, it's all good. How long does your editing and rendering process take? Rendering doesn't take so long now that I beefed up my computer like a year ago. I just saved up a bunch of money and just bought the best stuff I could get at the time. And knowing how technology works, I'm gonna have to beef up again, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. I'm gonna have to save up a lot of YouTube pennies. A lot of YouTube pennies. Forget YouTube money, YouTube pennies to get a new computer. Editing, on the other hand, it depends on the video. For the reviews, it would take a couple of days, you know, changes here and there, rewatching the video, making sure everything's fine, adding music to it. Usually the process, for instance, a Guild Wars 2 video would be I'll have the idea mapped out, I record the audio, then get the footage, then put the footage in, do all the editing with the audio there, and then I add in all the music and everything like that. And usually that's what the process I do with anything I do camera work with. I do the audio first, and I know exactly what I need to do for the camera. Because what I do is I outline everything I need to do on a Google Doc. And that's what I do for Visual Wood. That's what I've done for all my videos pretty much that are heavily edited. I have to do that. I have to outline everything so I don't forget certain things and certain jokes. But most of my jokes are pretty much improv when I'm recording, which is weird. But, you know, yeah. Do I prefer monkeys over Azuras as a pet? I would like Azuras, you know, Soldier, get back in your cage and do some more voiceover work because you're holding up the story. Have you ever been to Disney World? Who's your favorite Disney princess? And I hope it's Mulan. Be a man, strong and brave. No, it's the only black princess. It's the princess from the Princess and the Frog. No, I don't know. It might be Jasmine from Aladdin. It might be Jasmine from Aladdin, probably my favorite. Because I really like the movie a lot. I really like Aladdin. I mean, Robin Williams, man, he was good. He was good in that. Yeah, probably Jasmine. Mulan was good too. Do you and One Potatoes ever plan on meeting and hanging out in real life, doing some videos together, hanging out with ArenaNet? I don't know if ArenaNet wants to invite us again. I think it was way too expensive. I would love to go again. I would love to make videos with One Potatoes. That was the plan last time, but he didn't want to go. He didn't want to go. So, I mean, I don't know if I would get flight out again, but hopefully that comes up again. When we get to have an opportunity to fly out and then we'll meet each other in real life. I don't know about the ArenaNet thing, but I would like to hang out with him in real life and do some videos together. That would be quite entertaining, I would think. Quite entertaining indeed. At least for the first couple of videos anyway. But yeah, there's so many jokes I can make. So many jokes I can make. I'll be turning him into potatoes and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, but I would like to actually get to know the real One Potatoes, because you don't really know someone online. I mean, once you meet them in real life and you spend some time with them, sleep over their house, you know, then you get to really know someone. Not online is not a good way to know someone. It's just not. That's why online dating is a little bit sketchy. Not to say I'm dating him. Wow, I fell right into that trap. Will you do more games on this channel besides Guild Wars? I think I don't know why this one slipped through the cracks. Yeah, I answered this before already. Yeah, I will. Hey man, what made you decide to lose some weight and how did you do it? Well, I already explained how I did it. It's cutting out the crap, but periodic paralysis, and you know, it's easier for someone to, you know, like move me, or for me to move myself up the bed if I weigh less. That's definitely a factor. It doesn't change the intensity. I still can't move, but it's still, you know, it's still better. And the thing is, also looking in the mirror and being happy with my appearance. I looked in the mirror and I'm like, this is not how I want to be. I want to be able to wear certain stuff. I want to be able to take off my shirt and feel proud about what's under it. You know, it has nothing to do with society and how society portrays how you're supposed to look. No, it's just being healthier. You know, being at a healthy weight is better for you, for your body, for your loved ones. Do you want to live long? You know, it's just one of those things. People get all mixed up. It's like, oh, you know, it's all about society. Society's telling us that, you know, overweight, you could be whatever weight you want. Yeah, and you can also die early. You can also have problems later on in life. You can also, you know, for me, thinking of myself, I would love to not have to go to the big and tall section. You know, if I'm not big, well, if I'm not tall, I guess the big part also counts as big. But you know, football player section. You want to go to football players and you're not a football player. Being happy with myself. I mean, if you're happy with yourself, then that's fine. Be happy. Not saying that. That's just my opinion on that. You know, I wanna be able to run fast. You know, even though most of the time I won't be able to, but when I can, you know, when I don't have attacks, I would like to be able to run and you know, show off my legs. You know, my sexy legs. Oh, look at that hairy piece of meat. That was disgusting. When do you think Super Adventure Box will return? It's never gonna return, man. Josh has left us. He doesn't care about the hardcore SAB community. He doesn't care. Yeah, there's a community out there. It's big, man. It's not small at all. It doesn't consist of just me and maybe one or two other people. I love your animation on the rabbit. Would you do more of those things? I would love to. I love animation. I love animation. The thing is, simply money. I don't make enough money on YouTube for me to pay for more of my ideas to be drawn out. That's just it. It doesn't make enough either. Like the animation is not making enough money back to me at all. I'm in the negative when it came to spending a lot of money for that animation. So that's the thing. That's the thing. And I could do the drawing myself, but that would also take a lot of time as well. You know, you see animators, there's a reason why it takes them months and months to post a video, is because it takes a long time to edit that with their normal jobs. So yeah, it's more money, and that's the thing. And money is what creates better content. Do you have children? No, I don't. Have you been to Europe? No, I haven't. I would love to go to Europe. I need to try some German beer, you said. I would love to try some German beer, because the beer here in America tastes like piss. Who came up with the idea for the wonderful Guild Wars 2 lore videos? How much convincing did it take either yourself or WP for an awesome idea? I'm assuming you're talking about the 2 lore videos that came out a couple weeks ago. Those were my idea. I wanted to make a lore series, and I hired Ren, which is an awesome person and awesome artist. I don't know why, for some reason drawer was in my head. I was like, what you doing, brain? Anyways, I hired her for some pictures, and I used some concept art and whatever. It's, like, this video was watched by WP before I even put it out. Like, he knew I wanted to do the series from way back, and I wanted to go through all the living story pieces. And I wanted to pay someone to do it, and using of course Patreon, I was able to do that. The thing is that there was not enough support for it. That's the thing. There's not enough support for it for the Guild Wars 2 videos. Like, I was putting a lot of effort, but then the Guild Wars 2 community is so small that, you know, you're not gonna get the big views like, you know, like back in the days where the hype was real and everyone was playing the game. But also the reception were like, oh, you're copying WP, oh, blah blah, all these little whinings all over the place. I'm sorry, it's whining. It's whining. You know I love you guys, but you guys were whining. Oh, you're copying WP, oh, blah blah. I'm like, I'm not gonna even get into it and how that argument is just ridiculously stupid. But yeah, I wanted to do, both of us do a lore series together, and it doesn't have to necessarily be Guild Wars 2, but I like lore in general, and being able to do that voice, you know, welcome to the world of Guild Wars 2. You know, that whole epic voice thing that I do. So basically, I told WP, I was like, look at all these people. Look at all these people. I'm gonna make fun of them. I'm going to literally make fun of them because I could care less. I'm gonna make fun of them because this is one of those points where it's just like, okay, these comments are very annoying. Usually I don't react to comments. You know, I let people enjoy what they enjoy from my channel. But I wanted to laugh at them. That video was to laugh at them. So I told WP, I said, I'm gonna make a video of stealing your Cantha video, stealing your script, and you come in on me, and we'll do an audio adventure live on the video. And that's what we did. If you don't understand what I'm saying, go back and watch the video. It's the Dragon Empire one. And I made fun of it was good. It was good. I made all the sound effects and stuff, all the body dragging and cutting up and all that type of stuff. It was gruesome, and I love dark jokes, obviously. But yeah, where did the channel name come from? I explained it earlier in the video. Basically, I wanted to make things visually appealing. I like the visual word was used in multiple ways. You know, the music makes pictures in your mind, or gives you a feeling, or you know, it's just that if I even explain that properly. But yeah, because I was making music at the time, and I thought it was cool. And MattVisual didn't really roll off the tongue when I created it. It was just like, oh, it's not gonna roll off the tongue. And then now it's just like MattVisual. It seems so natural that that's my name. And I'm glad with what I picked. Who is your favorite personality whose name rhymes with nuke and starts with an L? I don't know what you're getting at, Luke. I don't have a favorite YouTuber that rhymes with nuke and starts with an L. If a Quaggan falls down and no one is around to hear it, does MattVisual still want to kill all the Quaggans? What do you think? Of course. What was your dream career as a child? It would definitely be a scientist. I grew up watching Bill Nye the Science Guy and loving my science classes. And I wanted to be a science class. I wanted to be a scientist for a while, actually. And I just never, things in life happened, and I just never pursued it. which is kind of sad when you think about it. But, you know, there definitely wouldn't be a MattVisual existing if I went to become a scientist. When did people start calling you Matt Casual? And I heard you went to the hospital recently. Are you okay? Yes, I am okay. And I explained why I went to the hospital. I went to the hospital for periodic paralysis. I'm trying to figure out what mutation it is, because it's a genetic disease and I got a bad mutation of it. For the calling me Matt Casual, it started on a stream. I don't know what it was. No, I know what it was. I didn't play Guild Wars 2 for like a week, and I missed the patch. So when I started streaming, I didn't know what they added in, right? And because I missed that one detail that was like not in the patch notes, people were like, "Oh, Matt Casual, Matt's a casual, Matt Casual, Matt Casual, ha ha ha, Matt Casual," and it spread like a virus. Congratulations on the 3-year. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Did YouTube change your life? And yes, in which ways did it, and are you always glad about it? YouTube definitely changed my life. Definitely changed it. Made me feel comfortable about myself. Made me feel more confident. The ability to talk to someone and socialize is easy for me. I've always been like that, but like it's you know, I guess it's a little bit better with YouTube. It also has some bad points too. You know, you're kind of conscious about stuff as well and what people say about you. That's also a thing, but it definitely makes you more, gives you more confidence and courage to get up here and let people just murk you if you do something wrong in a video. Or, you know, streaming requires courage because you would make mistakes while streaming. You can't be perfect while streaming. You can be perfect in edited videos, but you can't be perfect during streaming. Making a video and seeing a list of all your videos that you have made, and especially if you really like the projects that you finish, it's awesome feeling to actually finish a project and upload it to YouTube. It feels fantastic. And yeah, I wouldn't want to change any of that. What really happened with you and Guildcast? Nothing really happened. Guildcast, oh gosh, don't make this sound bad, but like there was random, like which day did we record Guildcast? It's like any day, you know. It's just like, no, I have things to do. I can't record it like when you just ask me to. You know, it's like, oh, we're gonna record it on this day. I'm like, no, I can't record it on this day. I have stuff to do. You know, I thought, you know, Wednesday at this time was the day. This is the day that I make time to record a Guildcast. I did it for fun. I don't get anything out of it. I don't get subscribers. I don't get views. I don't get any of that type of stuff. It wasn't big enough for that. I just did it for fun. And because Richie Procopio asked me, Bagar. And he's a cool guy. So nothing really happened. It's just that it was going down. I mean, Guild Wars 2 has gone down. You know, all that is left is the people who really hardcore love Guild Wars 2, who are keep watching YouTube videos and podcasts and stuff like that. And that's pretty much it. Guild Wars 2 will probably stay the way it is unless there's some expansion or it grows into some big MMO with updates, because it's not going to grow from its current state. In my opinion, it won't grow from its current state. It will grow if something big happens in Guild Wars 2, and then hence, hopefully, Guild Wars 2 YouTubers will also grow as well. Because there's a lot of good people out there like Yushish and Win Potatoes and all those guys. I've watched a lot of Guild Wars 2 YouTubers before, and you know, those guys play Guild Wars 2 and they don't really have much subscribers because that hype train has left. The people who have played Guild Wars 2, like from the very beginning and developed a base, those are the people who are left. And most of those people who have subscribed to me and Win Potatoes don't watch us anymore. Why? Because they stopped playing Guild Wars 2. We have a lot of dead subscribers. And I'm getting to the YouTube talk again. I should probably move on. Matt, do you love me? Yes. If you could turn into an animal back and forth as many times as you want, what will you be and why? I might want to be a dog. I want to be a dog. Why? Because, like, the first thought that came to my mind was like a lion, but I don't want to live in the wild. You know, I would, you know, and you can't just turn into a lion and be okay in society. You know, people are gonna try to kill you. But if you turn into a dog, it's fine. You know, you can sneak into places. You know what I'm saying? People will disregard you because you're just a dog. And my phone is ringing again. If I were to turn into an animal and stay an animal, I probably would be a dog too. It'd be man's best friend. I'll be the smartest dog ever. I find like the perfect master. Can you imagine? I'm saying that because I would love a dog to be that perfect. Oh man, me as a dog would be awesome. So like just that loyal, awesome friend. Oh, so good. And the last question, which man, I picked the darkest question. What kind of education do you have, black boy? What type of education do you have? I have some college, as you could put in the reports. Basically, I went to college for game design after I graduated from high school, straight after. And I couldn't finish it because I had to help my mom. I had to help my mom. My mom, the family was going through some stuff, so I had to start working. So all I had was a game. I was making a game when I was taking a couple of game design courses. And it sucks. I didn't really get to finish that full-fledged game, which was mentioned in Visual Wood as well. There was an episode of Visual Wood where I explained the game, and it's awesome. Hopefully I think I can find the write-up of the story, and I might want, if you guys were interested in seeing that. I don't know if there's like grammar errors or anything. It's an old thing. I got an A, so. Yeah, anyways, yeah. So that's what happened. Anyways, guys, man, I know this is going to be a terribly long video. I don't know if I'm going to upload this in 1 part or 2 parts, or I don't know. This is going to be an extremely long Q&A. Holy crap. I don't even know what to do, how to edit this up. I don't know how I'm going to do with this. It might be one long video. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This literally took me like 3 hours, holy crap, to answer like 60 questions. So hopefully I answered a ton of them. I tried to pick as many as I could that made sense, and sorry if I didn't get to pick your question. Maybe YouTube swallowed it. Thank you guys for watching me, and if you made it this far, thank you guys for watching this. Like, holy crap, thank you. Love you guys, and of course I'm gonna do something old. Anyways, guys, if you and stay visual.